स्क्रीन विजिबल है क्या सभी को?
नो सर,
अभी
अभी आ रही है लेकिन विजिबल अभी है ठीक।
विजिबल है।
एक मिनट। हाँ, am I audible? So today we will
Yes.
यस सर,
discuss about the creep of rail and welded rail. Creep of rail and welded rail. एक मिनट. All of you, screen is visible and my voice is clear to you. So, long welded rail, the the purpose of welding. Okay. So first is to increase the length by joining two or more rails. Okay. So you know that two rails are joined by using the fish plate. Okay. Two rails are joining by using the fish plate. But in some cases, we instead of using fish plate, we just joined two rails by using welding. Okay. So welding, you all of you know that how we weld. Okay. Electric welding or gas welding are the two we called it as the types of the welding or the methods. Okay, gas welding or electric welding. But in this case, in this rails, we two rails we joined by using the fish plate. But in some cases, we uh, jointed two rails by using welding and welding material. Okay. So purpose of welding is to increase the length by joining two or more rails. Okay. If we joining two or more rails, then definitely the length of the rail will increase. Okay. And second one is to repair damaged rail and thus increase their life. Okay. Now in next slide we discuss about the where we discuss about the creep. Okay. And in that we study about the various reasons. Okay. Various reasons because of that reasons the uh, wear occur, creep occur. Okay. And kings of rails or longitudinal or lateral movement of rails happen. There are so many reasons, but uh, in short, to repair damaged rails and thus increase their life. Okay. So due to loading, due to frost action, due to wave action, due to stresses, okay, due to impact load, okay, the rails are damaged. There are several reasons for damaged rails, but the main purpose of welding of rails is to repair the damaged rails. Okay. So these two most important purpose of welded rail. First is to increase the length by joining two or more rails, and second one to repair damaged rails and thus increase their life. As the weakest portion of the track is the rail joint, hence their number should be small as possible. To reduce the number of rail joints, the length of rail should be increased. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि अपन पूरा जो कंटिन्यूअस जो रेल है, ठीक है, उसको पूरे फिश प्लेट को रिमूव करके ही अपन उसमें पूरा वेल्डिंग करेंगे, ऐसा इसका मतलब नहीं है, ठीक है। we first of all we joint the damage rail, ठीक है, instead of using a fish plate. Because when we use the fish plate, ठीक है, with two rails joined by using fish plate, also we use the uh, bolts, nut bolts, ठीक है। When the continuous movement of rail, ठीक है, when rail continuously moving from particular joint, then what happen due to loading, ठीक है, due to continuous loading, due to continuous impact load, due to stresses, the fish plates are loose down, ठीक है। So also the rail ends are battered, ठीक है, battered nothing but the damages, ठीक है, the rail ends are better in that particular case. uh, we remove the fish plate and we uh, do the welding for particular section. Now see the advantages of welding of rails, ठीक है। So increase life of the rail. Obviously, the if the rails are damaged, then we do the welding, and obviously the life of rail will increase. Reduce the maintenance cost of track by about 20 to 30%. Okay. If you see the at the joint, okay, at the joint the rail ends are better, rails are completely damaged, some materials are wear out, okay. So in that case, if you not use if you not welded that particular rail, then ultimately we didn't have any other option, okay. We have only option to remove that particular damaged rail, okay, and implement the new rail at particular section, okay. So instead of instead of implementation of new rail, if you want to reduce their maintenance cost, then uh, at particular section we do the building. Third one is the reduce creep of rail. Creep nothing but the longitudinal movement of rail. Okay, in next slide we discussed about the creep, but here the creep nothing but the longitudinal movement of rail. There are several reasons for the movement of for longitudinal movement of rail. Okay, so uh, this is one of the advantages of welding of rail. Okay, if we weld rail in a proper section and proper way, then definitely we reduce the creep of rail. Next one is the expansion effect due to temperature is reduced, dampen the intensity of high frequency vibration due to moving load, ठीक है। Obviously we minimize the intensity of minimize the intensity of high frequency vibration due to moving load, ठीक है। if we use the fish plate, then obviously the vibration will resist by the joint, ठीक है, and fish plate, but and there is a chances of damaging the fish plate and rail ends. But if we in welding section, we cannot see this type of damage. Due to discontinuity of joints, following defects of eliminated. First one is hammering at rail joint, displacement of joint, disturbance in alignment, and bad riding quality. Okay, if we use the welding rails, or if we do the welding on particular joints, then see the displacement of joints will minimize, okay, our riding quality may be increased, okay, uh, uh, and the अलाइनमेंट जो है वो भी डिस्टर्ब नहीं होगा अपना, ठीक है। एंड ऑल्सो द जॉइंट सेक्शन रेजिस्ट द हैमरिंग एक्शन। नेक्स्ट वन इज द मेरा आवाज क्लियर आ रहा है ना?
Yes.
टाइप्स ऑफ वेल्डेड रेल, ठीक है। अभी इसके टाइप्स नाउ सी द फर्स्ट वन इज द शॉर्ट वेल्डेड रेल, second one is long welded, third one is the continuous welded rail longer than 1 kilometer. Okay. So first, short welded rail is length is 39 meter for broad gauge and 36 meter for meter gauge, and for LWR means long welded rail more than 200 meter for broad gauge and 300 meter for meter gauge. एंड थर्ड वन इज द कंटिन्यूअस वेल्डेड रेट लॉन्गर देन 1 किलोमीटर. ठीक है, ये भी एक ऑप्शन है. ठीक है, कंटिन्यूअस वेल्डेड रेट का लॉन्गर देन 1 किलोमीटर. नाउ सी द wear of rail. Wear is one of the prominent defect of rail due to heavy load. Concentrated stresses exceed the elastic limit, resulting in metal flow on the gap or joints. The ends are better and because the occurrence of skidding, slipping, and striking of wheel flames with rails result in wear and tear on rails. ठीक है, wear nothing but the flow of metal. ठीक है, from particular section. ठीक है, if you see there is a continuous implementation of load, then obviously stresses are occurred. ठीक है, stresses are occurred, continuous load, continuous impact load is act on particular section. Then in that case the metal may be flow. ठीक है, may be flow or may change their position. ठीक है, that is nothing but the wear. ठीक है, there are various reasons for forming of wear in particular rail section. ठीक है, so here the in wear what happened, if you see the joints. ठीक है, now I will show you one diagram. ठीक है, now see here in figure number 6.6. ठीक है, so if you see the two rails are joined by using the fish plate. ठीक है, ये arrow, ये cursor दिख रहा होगा आपको, ये एक, see this is one rail, this is another rail, two rails are joined by using these fish plate, and you see these the bolts, nut bolts. ठीक है, so what happened if the continuous movement of rail and due to continuous movement the continuous impact load is act on this particular section, and the stresses are also act on this particular section. ठीक है, so in that in such condition, if you see these ends are damaged, these rail ends are damaged, that is nothing but the battering of rail ends. ठीक है, battering of rail ends. ठीक है, so also the skidding, slipping, striking of wheel flange with rail result in wear and tear of rail. ठीक है, flange wheel flange nothing but the border of wheel. ठीक है, so obviously when at the time of skidding or slipping, ठीक है, wheels continuously strike wheel flange continuously strike the rails. ठीक है, so that is also one reason for forming the wear. Now see the classification of wear on the basis of location and on the basis of position of wear. ठीक है, on the basis of location, on sharp curve, on gradient, on approaches to station, and in coastal area. These are the some location in that particular location the chances of wear may be increases. ठीक है, next one is the on the basis of position of wear on the top of rail and at the end of rail and on the sides of the head. ठीक है, what is meant by head? ठीक है, now see this diagram. ठीक है, now if you see this cursor, ठीक है, this is head, this is head, this is also head. ठीक है, cursor दिख रहा है क्या सबको? cursor दिख रहा है क्या?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
cursor दिख रहा है, व्हाइट कलर का cursor जो है. हाँ,
Yes, sir.
so this is
Yes, sir.
this is head, this is web, and this is foot. This is head, This is web and this is foot. The top portion is head, the middle one is web and bottom one is foot. Okay. So if you see moment of rail is happen only on the head of rail. So wear also occur in the head, in the top of rail. Okay. Or in the side of rail. Side of rail means what? If the flange of wheels if the flange of wheel strike the rail, ठीक है, जब व्हील फ्लेंज रेल के ऊपर स्ट्राइक होगी तो ऑब्वियसली साइड को वो डैमेज करेगी, ठीक है, ऑन दी साइड्स ऑफ द हेड, ठीक है। एक तो टॉप पोर्शन में होगा, वियर कहाँ पे होगा, एक तो टॉप पे होगा, ठीक है, या फिर उसके एक तो टॉप पोर्शन में होगा या फिर ये जो साइड है, ये जो साइड है, ठीक है, इनर साइड जो है, ये इनर साइड है, ये इनर साइड है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको वियर फॉर्म होते हुए आपको दिखाई देगा, ठीक है। अभी नाउ बेसिस ऑफ लोकेशन में जैसा है, शार्प कर्व है, कर्व शार्प है तो ऑब्वियसली है वहाँ पे अपन सुपर एलिवेशन प्रोवाइड करके सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स को बैलेंस करने की कोशिश करेंगे। ऐसे केस में वहाँ पे जो है इनर जो रेल रहेगी, ठीक है, एक आउटर रेल एक इनर रेल, तो देर इज ए चांसेस ऑफ forming of wear on the inner rail, ठीक है। same on gradient, ठीक है, approaches to the station when suddenly applied the brakes, ठीक है, suddenly decreasing the speed, in that particular case the wear may be occur, or in a coastal area also where moisture uh, may be present in atmosphere, ठीक है, due to moisture or due to continuous implementation of load, ठीक है, there is a chances of skidding or slipping due to which wear may be occur. So now see these diagram, ठीक है, wear on rails, figure number 6.5 and figure 6.6, where at the end of the rails, ठीक है, end of the rails means you see in this figure number 6.6 the two rails are joined by using fish plate, then if you see this circle is nothing but the wheel load, and is continuously moving from this direction, ठीक है। So what happened, continuous loads act on this particular section, stresses are developed on this section, so what, the rail ends are better, rail ends are better, nothing but the rail ends are damaged, ठीक है, this is one reason। And also if you see the figure 6.5 wear on rail, ठीक है, so what happened, first now see the first image, top of rail, this is the normal condition, okay, this is normal condition। now see the bar, nothing but the metal flow, ठीक है, metal किस तरह से flow हो रहा है, now you see in this first diagram, ठीक है। and now ये top rail था, ठीक है, second one is inner rail top wear, ये किस तरह से wear हो रहा है, ठीक है, ये आप देख सकते हो। now see the outer rail top and side wear, ठीक है, यहाँ से किस, क्योंकि जो व्हील है, ठीक है, व्हील जो है वो इस डायरेक्शन में मूवमेंट होगा ये पर्टिकुलर केस में, दैट्स व्हाई इन दिस केस दी वियर ऑकर, ठीक है। यहाँ पे देखो ये मेटल कैसा है, फ्लो हो गया, उसने अपनी पोजीशन चेंज किया है, इसने क्या किया, अपनी यहाँ से पोजीशन चेंज की, दैट इज नथिंग बट दी वियर। नाउ सी द methods to reduce the wear. When wear exceed the permissible limit 5% of the total weight of section, the rail must be replaced. We didn't have any other option, ठीक है, यहाँ पे अपन वेल्डिंग नहीं कर सकते, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, वियर अगर एक्सीड हो गया, मेटल ही वहां से अगर फ्लो हो गया, सो द रेल मस्ट बी रिप्लेस्ड। यूज ऑफ स्पेशल alloy wheel at the location where wear is more, ठीक है, you know the position and the location of wear, ठीक है, so in that particular case we can use the alloy steel wheel, ठीक है। alloy steel wheel obviously as compared to normal steel wheel, it can resist the load, also bearing the stresses as compared to steel wheel. Also reduction in number of joints by using welding, regular tightening of fish bolt and packing of ballast. ठीक है. So to reduce the wear, uh, we can use uh, the special alloy steel at the location. ठीक है, at particular location where the chances of wear is more. ठीक है. Also we reduce the number of joints by using welding. ठीक है, we means we remove the fish plate from particular joints, and instead of fish plate we give preference to the welding. ठीक है. And regular tightening of fish bolts and or features and fastening, and also packing of ballast. ठीक है. Packing of ballast is the most important parameter here. ठीक है. Because if you know the loading cycle, ठीक है, from train to wheel and wheel to rail, rail to sleeper, sleeper to ballast, and ballast to subgrade. This is the continuous this is the uh, distribution of load from top to bottom. ठीक है. So if if we use the lower quality of ballast or poor quality of ballast, then obviously the load cannot be distributed to subgrade. ठीक है, subgrade. So uh, due to poor quality of ballast, the chances of rail damages are increases. Also chances of sleeper damages also increases. Next, maintenance of correct gauge will reduce the side wear. In particular, lubricating of the gauge face of outer rail on curve will also reduce the wear. ठीक है, we can, alignment is most important parameter in this wearing. ठीक है. So maintenance of correct gauge will reduce the side wear in particular. ठीक है. Correct gauge, ठीक है, maintenance of correct gauge, it may be broad gauge, meter gauge, or narrow gauge, whatever gauge, but if the alignment is proper or alignment is disturbed, okay, so alignment, if the alignment is disturbed, then obviously the chances of wear is more. Okay, if the alignment is in correct position, then we can easily minimize the wear. Lubricating of the gauge face of outer rail on curve will also reduce the wear. If we lubricate the gauge in somewhat manner, then we can reduce the wear. Interchanging of inner and outer rail and changing phase at curve will reduce the wear. Okay. Interchanging of inner and outer rail means what? Okay, for example, uh, in curve position, the chances of wear is more. Okay, because extra load is act on the inner rail. Okay, extra load is act on inner rail. We also you know, in a curve, on curve we provide the super elevation, we design the super elevation. In some case we also design the negative super elevation. So in that particular section, we call it as section curve, we call it as a section. In that particular section, the chances of wear is more. Okay, so if you interchange the inner and outer rail, okay, if you interchange the inner and outer rail, then what happens? We can minimize the wear on particular rail. Okay, for example, in curve, uh, periodically we can change the inner and outer rail. Okay, periodically after 2 months, after 1 month, after 3 months. So what happens? We can increase the life of rail. Okay, if if continue if we are if we not interchange the inner and outer rail, then what happens? The life automatically decrease, because one rail is completely damaged. Okay, and then obviously our maintenance cost is increased. Okay, so if we interchange the inner and outer rail on particular curve, then obviously we can minimize the wear or reduce the wear. Application of heavy mineral oil in case of corrosion of rail metal under adverse atmospheric condition reduce the wear of rail. Okay, सो ये इतने पॉइंट्स है जिसे अपन वियर को मिनिमाइज कर सकते हैं. नाउ क्रीप ऑफ रेल समझ में आया क्या?
Yes.
समझ में आ रहा है कि ऊपर से गया है? If you want to ask any question, please ask. अरे कुछ पूछना है क्या किसी को? So see, creep of rail. The longitudinal movement of rail with respect to sleeper in a track is called creep. ठीक है? और wear and creep nothing but the similar thing. ठीक है? But creep longitudinal moment of rail is nothing but the creep. ठीक है? So this is most important topic. Welding of rail is also important in university examination. Write short note on welding of rail. Write short note on wear on rail. What is mean by creep? Or write short note on creep of rail. This type of question may be asked in university examination for 5 to 7 marks. Okay. So longitudinal moment of rail with respect to sleeper in a track is called creep. Indication of creep: closing of expansion space at joint. Okay. Second one is mark on flanges and web of rails made by spikes head by scraping or scratching at the rail side. ठीक है, अब ये सब क्या है ये भी अपन इसको डिटेल में देखेंगे. एक पॉइंट आपको समझ में आया होगा यहाँ पे, फर्स्ट वाला क्लोजिंग ऑफ एक्सपांशन स्पेसेस एट जॉइंट. जॉइंट है ऑब्वियसली, स्पेस रहेगी वहाँ पे, तो वो क्रीप ऑफ रेल मतलब लॉन्जिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन में रेल का मूवमेंट हुआ, मेटल का फ्लो हुआ, तो ऑब्वियसली है वो जो स्पेस थी पहले एक्सपांशन जॉइंट में वो फिल हो जाएगी. ठीक है, तो क्लोज हो जाएगी. ठीक है, उसके बाद जो फ्लिंज है, व्हील फ्लिंजेस है, उसमें आपको मार्क्स दिखेंगे. वेब जो है, ठीक है, फुट हेड और फुट के बीच में जो वेब है, ठीक है, उसमें भी आपको मार्किंग दिखाई देगी. ये इंडिकेशन है क्रिप की. theories of creep. Now see, ये पूरा, now you have to write down all these. Write short note on keep these questions answer in short. ठीक है. So wave action और wave theory. बीच में अगर क्लास बंद हुआ तो फिर से रिजॉइन करना 1 मिनट. Wave action or wave theory. Wave motion is set up by moving loads on wheels. The vertical reservoir ABC is formed in the rail ahead of wheel resulting from the rail deflection under the toe. Now if you see this diagram, okay, now if you see this figure 8.2, wave theory of creep, formation of wave, how wave form. Okay, now see the ABC. ठीक है, एक कर्व, the curve is formed ABC. ठीक है, so here the direction of movement, now see this, the wheel is moved from left side to right side. ठीक है, due to loading what happen, this curve is plotted here to show the wave action. ठीक है, now I see one more example for you. एक मिनट. Screen is visible. स्क्रीन दिख रही है क्या? हाँ. नाउ सी हियर, Now see here, creep is developed due to wave motion of wheels on the rail. ठीक है. Now see in this diagram, the wheel is moved from this side to this side, from left side to right side. In that case, these waves are formed due to loading. ठीक है. Due to moment of wheel, loads on rail, the rail deflects as a continuous beam and crates are formed near the support. ठीक है. अभी इसके ये क्या है,
वॉइस भी ब्रेक होती है.
एक मिनट. अभी इसमें अभी आ रहा है क्या क्लियर?
नो सर.
Now